Hi, I'm Brian. Kettle's on, make yourself a cup of tea. Now today I want to talk about the live action Cowboy Bebop and the recent news that Netflix has just announced that it is being cancelled after its first season. Now this hasn't really come as a surprise to me. The show wasn't great, wasn't anything near the quality of the anime, which I wasn't expecting. But Netflix has announced that it is cancelling the show, and I'm reading this from Hollywood Reporter. Now it says, Cowboy Bebop cancelled by Netflix after one season. Exclusive. The streamer has cancelled the anime adaptation of the space western after its premiere less than a month ago. So, I mean, it can't have done that well on Netflix if it's being cancelled so soon after its release. It did make it into the top 10 of most watched shows. It stayed there for, I think it was a week, maybe just over. But I think despite getting into the top 10, the mostly negative reactions from fans and critics has made Netflix think that it's just not worth the money to continue making it. Because I think for a Netflix show, I don't think it would have been cheap for them to make. For a major studio, I think it would have been relatively cheap for them to make. But Netflix isn't a major studio. I do think it has cost them a lot of money and they haven't seen the return they wanted. But let's get on with the article. That was fast. Netflix has cancelled its ambitious, widely hyped, and ultimately wildly disappointing anime adaptation Cowboy Bebop, the Hollywood Reporter has learned. The move comes less than 3 weeks after the show's November 19th debut on the streaming service. The space western had a rough reception. The 10-episode series garnered only a 46% positive critics rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Fans seem to agree, giving the show a 56% audience score. According to Netflix top 10 site, the series has ranked up almost 74 million viewing hours worldwide since its debut, so it got plenty of sampling out of the gate, but it plummeted 59% for the week of November 29th to 5th of December. So 74 million viewing hours, it's not a small amount of viewing hours certainly, but I do think a lot of that will have been people tuning in for the first episode, maybe a couple more, and tuning out. I know some people will have stayed for the full series, but for it to drop 59% for the week of 29th of November to 5th of December, that is a big drop. As I've said, I think the reaction to it has caused Netflix to wonder if it was worth it, and they've ultimately decided no, it wasn't. So they've cancelled it rather than continuing on with the second series. And the article does continue to say, insiders pointed out, Netflix renewal rate for scripted series that have 2 or more seasons stands at 60%. In line with industry averages. Unlike all Netflix renewal verdicts, the decision was made by balancing the show's viewership and cost. The streamer also prides itself on taking big swings on projects like Cowboy Bebop and many other genre shows on air and in the works. They can take big swings at things all they want, but nobody asked for or wanted a live action version of Cowboy Bebop. At least, not to my knowledge. I mean, there might be some people out there that wanted it, but as a whole, anime adaptations don't work well at live action. And Cowboy Bebop is a beloved franchise. It's a fantastic anime series, and I think everybody knew before it started and before it aired that it was going to be bad once it was announced. The project is the latest attempt to reinvent Japanese anime as a live action series that failed to draw viewers, following such titles as 2009's Dragon Ball Evolution, 2017's Ghost in the Shell, and Netflix's 2017 movie Death Note. The biggest success in the space so far was arguably 2019's Alita Battle Angel, which pulled a sizable foreign dollars, 320 million, and if not domestic, which was 85 million. I mean, I haven't seen Alita Battle Angel, so I can't comment on whether that was good or not, but I did hear that it was a decent movie, but as I say, I can't comment on that one, I haven't seen it. Dragon Ball Evolution, that's best off not being spoken about. Ghost in the Shell, I've not seen, and Netflix's movie of Death Note was an absolute travesty. Then the next bit just tells you what the show is about, which we all know. Then this last bit here. The Hollywood Reporter's Angie Han wrote that Cowboy Bebop was faithful to a fault, with laden pacing and sharp anime visuals reduced to muddy CG. The playful humour translated as phony laughter, the lived-in grittiness replaced with shoddy-looking sets, and that the remake seemed to have no point at all. The show was based on a popular 1998 anime series and 2001 anime film. Netflix first ordered the project in 2018, and a live-action film version of Keanu Reeves was also being previously developed by Fox. Now, I don't think that will happen if it was still going ahead after they've seen the reaction to the live action on Netflix. But this part here, Hollywood Reporter's Angie Han wrote, Cowboy Bebop was faithful to a fault with laden pacing, the sharp visuals reduced to muddy CG, and playful humour translated as phony laughter, and lived in grittiness replaced with shoddy looking sets and seems to have no point at all. That is not a great look for the show. I mean, I don't think that's what we're going for. I think it's just what it comes off as, but it's a problem with a lot of live action adaptations of anime. Anime as a rule has never translated well into live action, and I don't think it ever will. Now, this is not the only anime adaptation Netflix has got in the works. They've also got One Piece and Avatar: The Last Airbender. I don't have any hope for those two either. I don't think they'll be able to do them justice to how the anime was. I won't have anything to compare One Piece to if I do watch it, because I haven't seen the anime of One Piece. But I have seen Avatar, and even, was it the producers or creators of the original Avatar anime have walked away from the Netflix series? I can't remember which one of those it is, but that's reportedly that bad that they want nothing to do with it. So I don't think going forward they're going to have a lot of success with the live action animes. I mean, it won't stop them trying, but I do think it should stop them trying. Another thing I don't think would have helped with the live action Cowboy Bebop was the treatment of the fans. I mean, I'm not saying it was all negative, but one side in particular, Daniela Pinita, did have a go at the fans in a snarky video which she made, apologising that she couldn't fit into Faye Valentine's costume. It was done just to literally have a go at fans of the anime, but I don't think her reaction and her digs at the fans has done anything to help the show. I think a lot of people may have been put off by that. I mean, I haven't watched all of Cowboy Bebop live action. I won't go back and finish the series, because why would I, when I can watch the much more superior anime version of it? Yeah, there we have it. Netflix has called it a day on Cowboy Bebop after less than a month of it being out. There will be no season 2. I don't think anybody will be that bothered that there isn't going to be a series 2, if I'm being completely honest. Some people obviously will have liked the show, which is fine. If you liked it, then you are allowed to like it. Everybody likes different things. But what do you guys think? Are you surprised that it has been cancelled? Or like me, does it come as no surprise at all that it's been cancelled? Do let me know in the comments below. And that's all from me. I want to make a fresh cup of tea.